it was confrontational, but it was all about the growth process also when you're riding in a team. How do you manage something like that within the team?
A very good question. No, of course, the team is structured to perform the way we did, right? But everything needs to come together to actually achieve something like we did. And of course, like mountain bike, it's a very individual sport. Like I don't think we ever played team tactics before, or you were in a position to actually think about that. Now we changed a little bit, like our guys are all on a very high level. They push each other. And then, of course, something like last week can actually happen more often as well. The characters, they're all racers. They all want it very badly. And that's what you want. But they're very respectful to each other as well. So as a team, for us, it doesn't matter who's at the top step. There's enough steps for everyone involved. And as long as we rotate them around, we're happy.
And even you look at your staff, your mechanics, everybody really seems to have adopted this philosophy.
I think for us, it's always important to kind of like keep the fun going, right? Like you can always be good and excellent in things that you love to do, and with people that surround yourself with the same passion for it. And I think I can be very proud to bring those characters together. There's the same competition between the mechanics, the soigneurs, the chefs, the performance manager. Everyone within the team has the same goal and the same passion as well. And I think, the guys showed what is possible. Now the ladies and the women are fired up as well. So, yeah, we'll see what this weekend brings. And
how big was that for you to open the season with a bang?
You know, we'll keep, in a lot of ways, like I've already sort of focusing on this weekend, let go of last, and just keep focusing on the accumulation of the races, and obviously July 28th or whatever it is in Paris for that little race. But yeah, no, it was amazing, you know, to start it off, and just to echo what Benno said, to finish with us all on the podium. I come from a little bit of a road background, and I've missed the team aspect in mountain biking. So to be able to do it with these two guys, was really special.
Has any time been booked for you on Elancourt track coming up to Paris?
Yeah, well, I didn't get to race the test event. I was focusing on the US races last year, so we'll be there after Nova Mesto. Our selection process, I have to podium another time to officially make it. But we've got two really strong U23s who are scoring a ton of points for us. And it's looking good so far for us to get 2 spots, which we haven't had as in the US for the men in quite some time. So we've really made a concerted effort as a country to get points, to work together. And USA Cycling has really done a good job supporting us.
Has what he said, first and foremost, maybe you can repeat it if you remember it. And second, has it become kind of the battle cry of specialized factory racing?
But yeah, I came through in 33rd or whatever in the start loop. I think I was further back at some point. And Benno just said, "Come on, Chris, you can do better." And I guess he was right, you know? So, but yeah, you know, the team really believes in what we're capable of. That's why we're here. That's why they work so hard for us. So anytime you're able to deliver, you know, you obviously do it for yourself and your training, but also for the support crew around you. So Sunday's race was really a case of trusting myself and taking it lap by lap. And it was pretty cool to kind of chip away at it, and then eventually see Martin in the back of the lead group, and I rode up to him, and we kind of smiled at each other, and then it was on from there.
Could you tell us briefly what all that is about?
Yeah, well, thanks for asking. It's just I've got this little creative collective of athletes and stories called Still Spoke, and really want to just show more of the human side, the creative side of what we do as athletes, because our sport is so beautiful. You know, you see the full spectrum of emotions, from what I felt Sunday to what all of us have gone through, you know, dealing with injuries and health and just the dog days of this sport. So Chapters is just my little video project throughout the season. I do some poetry and rap, so I'll mix that in there. But Still Spoke as a whole is hopefully going to be a platform for athletes beyond me to kind of share their personal stories in a way that you don't get to too often in our sport. Thanks for asking.
Well, is there a defining moment? Did something happen over the last few months since the end of last season when we spoke that's really dawned in you that I can do this? I can really do this at the elite level.
Yeah, for sure it was a big relief. Like last year was hard. Like everyone just pretend that going from under 23 to elite you are gonna win, but it's not like that. I just train maybe the same, step it up a little bit, but I didn't want to rush it in a way. We didn't had like short track in my years of U23, so it was hard to just step in short track on Friday, then race on Sunday with the big guys. It takes time. I think it just takes time. You need to also trust in your training, your process, because if you want to rush it, you can, I don't know, overheat it or, yeah, I think I trust in the team. I like to learn from every rider, like from Chris, Victor, even Enrique here. We race a lot here in South America, so you always learn. And I'm also open for that. And I think, yeah, this year we just came stronger, and when you are like in your level, you really can enjoy racing and do your own stuff. That's what I like. So yeah, I think it's just a process, and I like the process.
What are your feelings after riding the course today? Slightly changed from the CIMTBs. How are you feeling it?
Yeah, I think this is my 5th or 6th year being here in Araxa. It's always been a big party. And the track has always been so nice. Finally, I think we have something more challenging a little bit now in the cross-country circuit. It's not too bad, maybe the jumps looks big and everything, but it's quite okay. I think we have such good bikes and good skills now that we can take advantage from that. So the track is slightly different. Same spirit, I think, with the people there on Sunday and Friday. Saturday is going to be Araxa again, because just the people is so special. It's crazy. So I wish that everyone can just enjoy here and have fun.
Thanks. What a special moment last weekend. That face that you made crossing the line, I think it kind of defined the moment. It was a special moment for you.
Yeah, the last 4 years really challenging for me. In 2020, I had 2 surgery on my heart. Then 2022, I broken my ankle ligament. So were like a lot of step backs, but I just enjoyed the process. And I never give up. And I really just big dream. This winter I changed the team, and I think people have the whole point sometimes. I feel like so good in the Orbea Factory team. It's like my family, my teammates, Hanne. Before 1 hour before the race, we made like a dance every Sunday. So if you want to see the dance, 1 hour before the cross country, you are invited in our tent to see the dance.
Tom, you've noted.
And this year just this team just made me a lot of calm, and I just trust the process, and I was really happy. I'm Italian, so also I am a little bit a drama queen. Just after the finish line, all the emotion, all the sacrifice, like coming at tears, and I was super happy.
What is making this so special? Is it once been a bit like Benno's team, the veterans and the new talented riders? What's making this come together, you think?
I think what I say is like the people, honestly, I never been in a team where every riders help each other, and also every part of the staff, mechanics, physio, we can count off everyone. Today I was quite scary to take a lot of jumps on this track, because it's some jumps are really big, but at the end of the day, with the help of my teammates, I can close every jump, and I was super happy. And then I'm super enjoy this track. For sure, without my team today, I cannot be that happy.
What were your first sensations riding out there and some of those gaps and jumps?
Actually, I really enjoyed the first part. I love steep climb, so I think the first part really sweet good on me. But the jumps are really made super good. So actually, if you have like the good speed and the good confidence on you, you can do it. So like today, for sure, the first approach was like I was a little bit scared, but then I just tried to follow like my flow, and then also the help of my teammates and my whole team, also my team manager Pierre, like helped me a lot. And at the end of the day, I was the happiest girl in the world because I was like, oh, I take all the jumps, and this makes me a lot of gave me a lot of confidence. And I really like when we have this kind of track that challenging a little bit you, not always like the same track. So yeah, congratulations for all the people that are working this track.
Can you tell us how that one unfolded? Because a lot went on. Haley crashed right in front of you, and then Jenny took off after working in that group of 4. What was going through your mind, and how were you talking to yourself on that final lap?
It was a super exciting, engaging race, and I didn't have a great start. I was in the back and was just trying to be confident and calm, and really use my energy where it was the most efficient, and make my way back to the front. Also always believing that I could get to the front. And then I found myself there, and I think Haley and I were passing it back and forth for most of the race. And I think Jenny used that to her advantage, which I would have too, knowing that we were both fighting it out for Olympic qualification. And then, towards the end of the race, I was dangling a little bit, and then never super far off them. I think I was always managing the gap. And then, Jenny attacked on the more or less like the hardest climb of the course, and dropped Haley. And then by the top of it, I was closing on Haley. Couldn't quite get around her before the last descent. And then was just like, okay, like just breathe and try to recover and then take it to the finish line. But then, on the last corner, like she just slipped her front wheel. And luckily there was a bit of a gap, and it was a little bit distracting, and I was it looked like a hard slam. So I was kind of thinking like, damn, like maybe I should wait up a little bit. But we were so close to the finish. And so I just continued, and luckily she was all right, and she got up pretty quickly. I watched the replay back, and it did not look comfortable. And then, so that's kind of how it played out.
How does that affect you as a rider when you're caught up in something or you see that happen? There needs to be a mental, almost like a switch off to keep you going, I imagine, for the end of a race.
Yeah, I mean, I think we face so many micro distractions throughout a race, and it's so much about, like, I do so much work to focus on refocusing and re-engaging every time I'm distracted by anything. Could be spectator, another rider, the way your body's feeling or anything. So just like constantly re-engaging in your line and what's in front of you. And I think the same goes when a crash happens, or someone bobbles, or you have to get off your bike and run. Like you just have to breathe and stay focused and just reset and focus on the task at hand.
Talk to me about this Brazilian crowd. It's special. We saw it in Petropolis a few years ago at the Olympic Games in Rio. This was your first kick at the can, I think, here in Brazil. They gave you extra wings. You can't deny that.
Yeah, it's super cool. Like Martin said, it's different racing here than in Europe. Like I think, it's not super common for the fans to see a World Cup live. So that's a really special experience, and I think we all feel it. Everyone is just so passionate about the sport and about every rider in the field, which is really cool because we all work really hard to be here. And it's really special to feel the support from them.
I thought that Rick and company got excited, but I think you've brought a new level to excitement. How was that as an experience?
Quite good experience, I would say. I've been doing that on a few races here and there, but to comment a World Cup race, and especially that race was, so intense for both men and women. Quite a special weekend, I would say, and was just nice. Quite intense, especially because I'm a Portuguese-speaking person, so I had to try to behave as good as I could. So it was nice. It was a good challenge, but I hope I could bring some Latino emotion during the commentary.
How big is this for the Brazilians and the Brazilian Cycling Federation to have these back-to-back World Cups in Mariporã and now here in Araxa?
Well, I think speaking for myself, Petropolis was totally different. Being my hometown, was deeply involved with a few things on, for example, track building and so on. And we were receiving the World Cup back in Brazil after 17 years, so that was a massive, massive opportunity for us to show our passion and how much we developed over the last decade or so. So it was, I think, very important. It was, in a way, shocking to the mountain bike world. And I'm so happy that we are back here in 2024, receiving two stages back to back. It's something so special. If you look to the history, last time that happened was back in 2009 in Canada. So it is very special for us. I would say it's an honor to be so privileged by the UCI, ESO, Warner to get the trust to hold those events. So I think it's a great moment for us, and you can really see and feel how much we're trying to give our best.
Which of the two courses, seriously, which of the two courses would you have preferred, do you think?
Well, I've been racing both courses for quite a long time. Mariporã for the last 5 years. I've been coming here for the last 20 years. As I lead for 12 years or so. So I would say here it's pretty special. On the racing side, I think Mariporã would be the best course to me ever. And the type of race that we saw happening, that's what I love to see, and I would love to be there, like fighting with the guys. But I think Araxa is slightly more technical. I think the vibes are different as well. The terrain is very, very unique, so nobody never rode something like that. I can assure you about that. We had some heavy rain this afternoon. It won't be muddy. Don't worry. Don't change your tires. Martin knows about it. It's so unique. You have those rusty rocks.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you can see that in any other place of the world. I never found the same type of terrain that we have here. It rolls fast, but it's still quite technical. You have some big jumps, which is not most of the time so common for cross-country races. And might be also a tight one. It's slightly different to Mariporã. I think we won't see 12 guys opening the last lap together, but I think we're still going to see a final sprint for the win, potentially, yes.
Are you happy with the direction? And by the way, you have the title of marathon with the new bicycle. So are you happy with your team and for the future, or what are your plans? You have good guys on it.
Well, the team it's quite a big mission. It's not only about developing riders, but the idea behind that was to develop the whole thing. When I say the whole thing, it's working with a national brand, developing the staff. I think that's what I learned the most, from working with different nationalities and so on. It's not always about how good the riders are, but where are they performing? Who are the people around them. So it's pretty hard to find big talents in our sport, like Christopher, like Martin. But I would say it's even harder to find a good team manager, or to find a good mechanic, to find a good physio that put those guys on the right place to perform well. So what I do with the team, it's I try to prepare the staff, and then I try to prepare the riders. It might seem a bit weird, but it's not. What I'm trying to do, it's like to have really good Brazilian mechanics, really good Brazilian physiotherapists, really good Brazilian managers, and so on. And that's a quite long learning curve, but I would say we are on our way, and it's just about after that finding the right guys, or the guys that really want, and once you have the environment to make them develop and perform, it's not that hard.